Hello gamers, and today I have the absolute joy of reviewing Grand Theft Auto 3 10-year anniversary on the iPad. Now 10 years ago I was playing this game on a big fat box huddled around a big fat TV with 20 of my big fat friends until 6 o'clock every morning. Well, actually they're not that fat, but you get the point. This game was revolutionary at its time, a complete breath of fresh air. But has it stood the test of time? Let's see. Grumpy Git reviewing Grand Theft Auto. Okay then, let's talk about this. Let's talk about gameplay first. Okay, it's Grand Theft Auto. If you haven't played Grand Theft Auto games, then God knows where you've been for the last 10 years, living in a cave I presume. But it's Grand Theft Auto. It's a sandbox game where you have the freedom to run around and complete many missions for many different types of clans and people, including lots and lots of submissions on top. None of that has changed. It looks to me to be an exact port of that game that we so loved 10 years ago. I can't really tell any difference, but I'm probably wrong. But saying that, it looks identical to me at the moment. Graphically, the game looks exactly the same as it did all those years ago. Obviously, you know, it's a miniature version of the game that we used to play on the PS2. So you're going to get some sort of graphical problems going on. You're going to get a slight pop-up in the background, and it's slightly glitchy here and there. And obviously, stuff like this up here, this sign up here, it looks slightly pixelated, but it always did, and it doesn't really matter that much. Now, a lot of other people that have reviewed this game seem to have a big problem with the controls. Now, come on, obviously, we're playing this game on a flat screen. We don't have a controller in our hands. So this thing over here on the left-hand side that you can move around with my left thumb here, this obviously mimics a analog stick. Over here on the right-hand side, we have a jump button. Next to that, we have a run button. Above that is a fist, which is a punch button, obviously. Above that, we have a camera, which will change us to a top-down version, which kind of mimics the first and second games. If we change weapons, which we do by swiping the top up here, so there you go, there's a handgun. Instead of there being a fist down there now, there's now a bullet. Bam, as you can see. Now, the aiming isn't great on this, okay? That's one of its major flaws, because as I said, we're playing on a flat screen, so the aiming isn't brilliant. You kind of get this, you get in a situation where you're playing certain missions where you have to turn round, and he doesn't turn around, and the camera doesn't turn around with him, so if you're trying to shoot people behind you, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. But that being said, you can double tap the screen if you want, which will turn it around quickly, but that's not really good enough when you're actually in the middle of a big shootout. But it's not really a biggie. It can be a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's not a massive pain in the arse. Secondly, other reviewers seem to have a problem with the controlling of cars. I disagree. I think it's fine, but that's just my opinion. So let's have a look at these cars, shall we? Let's turn off. Oh, you bastard. Let's try that again. Right then, we'll have this. Well, this time I'll get away before I start my review. Right, let's turn this radio off here, which you do by just stroking the left hand side there. Okay, great. So people have a problem with the controls. I can see why they have a problem with the controls, but it's not really that big a deal. Okay, so on the left hand side we have a left and right, which makes the car go left and right like thus. On the right hand side, obviously, we have an accelerator here, which my thumb is on right now. Next to that is a brake. Next to that is a bullet. In some vehicles you can shoot outside of your car, just like in all of the games here. These double tracks here are a handbrake, and obviously the door there is to get in and out of your car. Above that is a horn, and above that is a different camera view, including a cinematic camera, which no one ever bloody used in the first game anyway. And that's it. Some cars control better than other cars, but we already knew that from the Grand Theft Auto game, so I'm not entirely sure what people are complaining about. It isn't as bad as what people are making out. I find it very comfortable to use. You can get into some really good car chases with the police, and there's lots and lots of submissions, which are driving missions and races and delivery, and all of the ambulance stuff there and all of the fire stuff there is all still there, where you can do all those submissions. Ooh. And it plays pretty well, as you can see. The sound is brilliant. Okay, this is a hustling, bustling city with people talking all the time. As you walk past people, you can hear them talking in their everyday lives. They might shout at you, or they might be arguing with somebody else. You can hear cars go past you, people will beep their horns, and it generally sounds like a big, hustling, bustling city. The guns sound like guns to me. I don't really have much of a frame of reference when it comes to the sound of guns, but this sounds like a handgun, I guess. Bang, 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 it goes bang, 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 and yes, the shotgun goes big bang, and a rocket launcher, I take it will just go big bloody bang. So the sounds are great. The radio is exactly the same as the radio that it was 10 years ago. There's lots of songs on there. Some are good songs, some are crap songs, as you'd expect from a radio. Chatterbox is there, is an amusing tongue-in-cheek channel, and as said before, it's just generally the same old thing again. Okay then, Grumpy Git, is it worth it? Well, thank you for asking. Look, it's Grand Theft Auto 3. It's Grand Theft Auto 3 on a flat screen, or a handheld device that sits in your hand. Of course it's worth it. It's exactly the same game that you played 10 years ago, and it has aged brilliantly. It's a sandbox game where you've got complete freedom. There are tons and tons of missions, there are tons and tons of submissions, and the controlling can be a bit annoying, but it's a minor niggle. The graphics are brilliant, the sound is brilliant. 10 years ago we paid £40 for this game, and now you're paying a couple of quid for it, so go out and get this game. I thoroughly recommend it. Grumpy Git, over and out.